Thanks for joining us for Issues and Answers. I'm Ian Boyne. Minister of Justice, Senator Mark Golding, is with us again. We have some crucial issues to deal with, issues which we know are at the front and center of your attention. We thank you for your company. Minister, good to have you back.
Thank you for having me again.
Recently, Transparency International revealed that Jamaica had moved up 16 places in the perception of corruption index. That's a significant move for the country.
It is.
And you had issued a release to say that it was specific actions that we had taken.
Yeah, I mean, we, having been sort of stagnated at a particular point in the index for some 9 years, finally, the work that has been done over the last few years was recognized, and we moved up 16 places. I think we are only one of 10 countries in the world, over 168 countries that were a part of this index that moved up that far. And we're now number 1 in the Caribbean in terms of our ranking, and in the top quartile for the entire Americas. So it's quite significant. And I thought that the public ought to know how this happened, you know. It didn't just happen by accident. So, I mean, we have passed and introduced a number of laws that have strengthened the framework, and also established institutional initiatives that have enhanced our anti-corruption effort. So, and the Ministry of Justice has either played a supportive role of other ministries where these particular pieces of legislation fall under other ministries, or we have initiated them ourselves. So in terms of, for example, the anti-gang legislation, the anti-lotto scam legislation, the amendments to the Securities Act to prohibit Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes, the amendments to the Proceeds of Crime Act that make it illegal to enter into cash transactions of over $1 million other than through the formal regulated financial system. These are all significant things that have made a difference to our ranking. Then there's the Integrity Commission bill, which went through a Joint Select Committee of Parliament reviewing it and has just finished that process, which will establish a single anti-corruption agency with prosecutorial powers, which is a new feature that it doesn't now have. And importantly, specific provisions that allow the sharing of information between law enforcement agencies, tax agencies, and anti-corruption agencies, so that they're not going to be operating in silos any longer. And this, we feel, will also make a significant difference in terms of people avoiding the arm of the law and operating with impunity where it comes to corruption. So we are pleased that this has been recognized, because we've been at this for a while, and it was heartening to see that the Transparency International has recognized this. And of course, we're supporting these efforts by civil society as well. Entities such as National Integrity Action, who have been very active in promoting the message, and also supportive behind the scenes in training and so on for justice stakeholders at all levels of the system in some of the new legislation that has been introduced. So it's been a collective effort in that regard.
The campaign finance.
Yes, that's part of it too. Significantly, first of all, in 2014, we passed the legislation amending the Representation of the People's Act to provide for the registration of political parties and regulation of them, with them having to provide annual financial statements and so on. And then, of course, the election campaign finance legislation has now passed. It's not in effect yet, because it's going to take a while, I think, to train and educate people, because it is quite far-reaching. But it's passed, and it will be brought into effect as soon as that training has taken place. And that really provides limits on how much can be spent by any candidate or by any party, limits as to how much any one individual can give to any candidate or any party, and provides for disclosure to the Commission of all campaign donations above a certain sum, and by the Commission itself, this is the Electoral Commission, disclosing donations of over a certain sum to the public. So it's a new day for transparency in election financing. And I think this is something which will put Jamaica far ahead of most of our peers in this area.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we come back with the minister, of course, we'll talk about ganja reform. We take a break.